Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to explain a French psychological thriller movie called a.r.g.o. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. a.r.g.o narrates about the time when he was 10 when he came to France, and it was a thriving country at that time. Currently in 2035 there are 15 million unemployed citizens, and the people of Paris are barely surviving. The government has taken over everything, but some optimistic civilians still protest in hopes of changing everything back to normal. Among all these changes, doping and human experimentation are legalized as poverty and unemployment rises. New violent sports are introduced. Athletes get sponsored by pharmaceutical companies who test their new drugs on them. a.r.g.o is seen fighting a man and says that 10 years ago he took a new product from a big pharmaceutical company but had a stroke and lost the match. When he lost that match he was worth nothing anymore. a.r.g.o is now with a doctor who is looking at his head injury he had in the past. A man calls him out to collect his money from a coach. When a.r.g.o comes out to collect the money, his girlfriend approaches him. Her name is Altman and she is a corporate agent. Other than getting jobs as a low-ranked boxer, a.r.g.o also takes small jobs from Altman. The corporate-run police departments hire unemployed temporary workers during periods of civil unrest. This time a.r.g.o is one of the riot security guards, and he is on the front lines. While doing his job he spots his niece getting arrested and being placed in a police van by other police officers. Her name is Anouk and a.r.g.o manages to get her free. They are seen walking and going on a train together to get to her mother and a.r.g.o's sister Carla. While they are walking to Carla's place they hear the news that according to a new weapon act firearms are now illegal. Inike Carla, who works for a news channel, she talks about how another company wants to test a new product on humans and warns a.r.g.o to not agree to do it because many people have been dead from it. Another man who works with Carla also tells a.r.g.o to not take it, but he claims that he wants money. Later on, a corporate woman named Anna is seen talking to the CEO, and she tells him that many people have died because of their new drug. He tells her to test their new a.r.g.o because the drug only seems to be compatible with his DNA. Anna then appears in the boxing arena where she meets a.r.g.o and his coach. She offers a.r.g.o to take the drug and become the top-ranking boxer he once was. However, a.r.g.o knows this drug has killed thousands of people and refuses because he doesn't want to die. Anna does not forget to mention that they tested the drug on his blood and it works only on him and no one else. The coach also tries to convince him, but a.r.g.o refuses and walks away. The next day, after an encounter with his transgender neighbor, he goes to see his lawyer. He breaks the bad news that his sister Carla has been arrested because she was caught with a gun in her possession. a.r.g.o is shocked to the core and wants to take the blame for it but fails. His lawyer tells him that he cannot meet his sister, but can only take custody of her two daughters, Anouk and a little one named May. While taking them with him, a.r.g.o calls Altman and talks about how they need to rescue his sister. Albin cares for a.r.g.o and agrees to help him. Then he goes to Boris, who has worked with Carla. He is trying to tell the press that Carla was innocent and that he has proof that she is innocent and that someone had framed her. a.r.g.o asks to talk to Boris in private and takes him to the toilet. He starts to torture him while telling him to stay away from all this because a.r.g.o will handle the situation himself. He then brides a police officer and goes to meet Carla, who is about to go to prison. She is more than relieved to hear that her daughters are safe in his custody. a.r.g.o ensures that he will get her out and tells her to stay out of trouble in prison. Before leaving at his home he cooks food for Carla's daughters, but Sue discovers that Anouk is talking to Boris on her phone. She gets angry and starts to fight with a.r.g.o as she thinks that Boris is just trying to help them. When a.r.g.o ignored her, she takes a plate of food and drops it. a.r.g.o gets very mad and slaps her on the face, but he instantly regrets it as she leaves the house and runs away. He leaves May with his neighbor and goes after Anouk. He finds her, but a group of rebellious teenagers were harassing her. a.r.g.o beats them up, and they run away as Anouk started crying. a.r.g.o explains that he is a good man who just wants to get his sister out of prison. While coming back home, Alton called him and said that they need to meet. Once they meet, Albin explains how the story has gone viral on the news, which is why there is nothing she can do to get her out. She also explains that the possession of illegal weapons is considered a very big crime, even for bribery. He at least needs 100,000 euros. a.r.g.o knows that now all he can do is gather money to get Carl out and that he has to do it before the case goes to court. At the boxing arena they are again testing the drug on different blood samples. Again a.r.g.o sees for himself that the drug reacts perfectly with his blood while it kills all the other ones. He also learns that there are a few side effects of the drug and decides to take it for the money. When asked, the coach tells him about the European Championship matches if a.r.g.o wins 3 rounds, he will get all the money he needs to get his sister's free rights in his hands. At night, Aries comes and picks up Carla's daughters from his neighbor's house. The next day, all the contestants for the championship are announced. The first round Aries has is with a well-known and very famous boxer who can easily beat Aries. His coach also says that there is no chance that Aries can win and refuses to bet on him. Aries desperately needs the money, so he goes to his neighbor Soda's. He gives her 15,000 euros and asks if she can bet on him so that he can participate. The next day, Aries is ready for the big match, but no one has any hopes for him to win as he has been a low-ranking boxer for a very long time. However, he takes the serum and goes to the ring. The match begins and everyone is shocked to see that he is putting up a good fight. Ultimately, the drug works and Aries beats the fighter, winning the match, but while everyone is cheering for him, he throws up blood and loses consciousness. At a meeting in the company, the CEO presents Aries' victory to the investors and claims that the drug works. The investors also seem interested in. When Aries wakes up, his coach hovers over him and tells him to fight more matches and win the championship. He refuses because he has the money he needs. Anna is there and he tells Aries that many people are interested in Aries now and that they even got him a new coach. Aries is tired and leaves the place to go home to see Mai and Anouk. Aries talks about how he will continue to take the drug and will win the championship to get the money he needs to get Carla free. Anouk is against this because they already have the money and she knows that too much consumption of the drug will eventually kill him. Aries still refuses and wants to continue so that he can get even more money. Over the next few days, they launched the drug and it gains popularity as the company and the CEO benefits from it. Aries is then seen in a car with Altman. He gives her the money and sends her inside the prison to get Carla. As he waits in a car for his sister, he is called inside. When he walks inside, he discovers that Carl is killed by some prison inmates. Aries is perplexed and infuriated at the same time and wants to find the person who framed Carla. He walks out in bereavement while telling Altman to find the culprit responsible for framing his sister. The next day, Aries is looking at his next opponent, who seems very strong. Boris calls him and starts to talk about the company. He wants Aries' help to expose the company by revealing the actual amount of people they have killed with this drug. Aries is not interested until Boris tells him that this company was responsible for Carla's death. He also gets him a location from where informant is telling the company about Aries. When he goes there, he sees that it is none other than his coach, but at the moment Aries does nothing and walks away. The next day, Aries fights his opponents, but gets defeated by him in almost no time. The CEO is sitting with the board of directors and they see that Aries' defeat has affected the company. Aries is then in a car with his neighbor. After the match, he gives her the money and tells her to go away with the girls to keep him safe. He also gives her Altman's number just in case of emergencies. Aries then returns to the boxing arena and confronts the coach. He tells him that he didn't take the drug last night and killed him for good. He comes out where Anna is standing to inform him that they have his nieces in their custody and they won't hesitate to kill them if he doesn't take the drug and win the rest of the matches. He calls to check on the girls only to find out that Altman is with them. It turns out that Altman was working with the company and she is the one who actually framed his sister and got her killed. His neighbor gets a call from Anouk and she feels that something is wrong. He checks the camera and sees that the girls are being held captive by Altman. She calls Boris for backup and goes to the apartment to free the girls together. That goes there with a gun and they pointed at the door's people. She just when Alton looks through it, she is shot in the head as blood splatters. Albin dies right there and the girls are safe. Aries is brought to the company's headquarters and he confesses that he didn't take the drug the other day and that works perfectly. Anna comes there and injection with it just to show the board of directors the effects of the drug. Boris calls and tells Aries that the girls are safe. Once he hears this, he goes on a rampage, killing the CEO and the board of directors. He then lets Boris in the computers of the company as he reveals the true numbers of people they killed to ensure that his nieces are safe from the company. Ari shoots himself in the head right in front of Anna with Ira's sacrifice. The girls are completely safe. Subscribe to see more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like.